realizing that, well, I certainly realize that as I get older, I have less answers. So I thought I knew it all many years ago. I thought it was just a question of getting organized, standing up for yourself, making sure you had backup maids to backup maids to backup drivers to husbands that had to be read the riot act periodically. I don't think we'd be anywhere if it weren't for our mothers and all that. But as I get more and more into leadership positions, I have been or am on the boards of practically every blue chip Indian company that will have me. I am extraordinarily outspoken. I'm a maverick, so I also sort of tick the box of being open to new ideas. So I always say I'm a 3-in-1 package. Chairman of one of my boards who said to me that if only you were disabled, you would just be perfect. We just need one of you to take care of 4 things that we need to get done. Begin to realize one thing. I never thought there was a boys' club until I got admitted into it. And now I kind of realize that when I say boys' club, I really mean a different mind wiring, a different world. I think about it as majority community, minority community. So if we go into certain parts of even this city, you know, everything seems to be a little bit different. Or if you go to, if I go to Chandigarh, it always surprises me how many people with turbans there are because I don't see them in Bombay where I live. So what I want to do really is to just share experiences. I've made a mental note of much of that. So it's to listen and to learn because it is an ongoing, many issues which are real. I think to say that there is no difference, let's wish it under the carpet, I think is intellectually dishonest. I think it's emotionally dishonest. There are issues, I think we just have to figure out how we're going to navigate them, how we're going to deal with them. I'm also particularly pleased that CII is actually hosting this because I think we are all now realizing that a good economy cannot be built on the basis of a bad society. And that's why I think all CII initiatives relating to women are more than welcome. I think CII needs, and we've said this often and I've said this in writing too, it needs to influence and persuade not just on GST and FDI, that's the main event, this is the sideshow. I think when you have budget discussions, I think CII also needs to say, we as members of one constituency, which is business, also want funds, not just to go into things that favor us, but also to go into police reform, to make the 80,000 bank branches work better for women. In Bombay, actually, we have a banner called TIE, which is for entrepreneurs. So we set up a thing called TIE Stree Shakti. Rather, I was dragged kicking, screaming. And there we actually had a very interesting debate, which was both the TIE Bombay chapter and the Delhi chapter. There was a section that felt less sort of liberal homes, I guess, and some of them, even as some of them were from more liberal homes. And they said that it's not that marketing is different or finance is different, it's just that the environment in which these sessions are conducted, they said inhibits us to begin with from standing up and asking questions the way we want to. And even at a time when we're coming into the learning, in the learning mode, we don't want to have to fight and struggle to be able to catch eye and, you know, for every 5 guys asking questions, there's me. So I guess that seemed quite real, and they also said that perhaps the exposure levels that have happened have been lower for some of us, so we'd like a certain amount of comfort and catch up. So yes, let me first also pick up on some of the things that the previous speakers have said. I completely agree with Vanita that it is a networked world, and I think there are lots of, you know, in a networked world, you have lots of little networks that come together to form a big network. So I certainly hope at the end of this, and as time goes on, there will be a lot of little networks that will also spin off this big one. And I think networking is important, you know, but again, network is an American word. I think we sort of network very well on our own, right? And so we don't call it to network, but I think we do a lot of sharing. I guess I completely agree with the point that if you are networking across different groups of people, then I think you come up with completely different ideas, you come up with different answers. The whole point of diversity of any kind is actually to have someone ask, but why do you think so? So you can, if you talk to someone exactly like you, they will give you solutions to the problem the way you have framed it. But the whole idea is to get someone who can just challenge that entire framing of the problem and say maybe it's not a problem at all. Or I often ask a lot of people who've stayed in uh, traditionally within the corporate frame, that why is it so important for you to have the designation?